proceedings. What are we telling the international community? That a head of our judiciary says accounting is going to be done in secret. We are appealing to you. Set this rule aside. Nobody will do anything. It's your rule. It's not us. It doesn't have to be subjected to anything. It is undemocratic. It's inconsistent with the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. And no one is going to lose anything. These cameras that are showing me now must zoom in as the counting is happening. The last thing I want to say, in 2019, there was an outright winner. In 2019, there was no contestation. But we have been here when there was a contestation and voting happened in secret, but counting was observed by everyone. And it happened on the floor of the National Assembly. Musi Maimane was contesting, Honorable Musi Maimane was contesting Honorable Gedle Hlegisa Jikitshela Mkhonto Zuma. And we counted here. But I'm appealing to you, Deputy, Chief Justice. It's undemocratic to say a counting cannot be observed.
Honorable Chief Justice.
I'm going to allow a limited time of discussion on this in terms of Rule 8.3 of the rules governing this sitting, which is part of the amendments that were made yesterday. It allows me to allow very limited discussion. I've heard Mr. Ndlozi, and basically his concern is that the counting should happen here. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yeah. And he says that in the past it has happened. Let me hear a few more views.
Honorable Chief Justice.
Let me start this side.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. Just a couple of things. I think it would be improper for us to essentially want to amend rules which were approved by the Chief Justice on the 27th of May. Additionally, these rules were circulated to members of Parliament, and therefore, if members of Parliament had problems with particular rules here, that those should have been raised before. We cannot now be sitting here and asking to amend rules on the fly. It would essentially delegitimize the fact that we've got approved by rules that are governing the section. In addition to that, these rules are not just rules that have been created by the Chief Justice. They emanate from the Constitution under Section 9 of Schedule 3 of the Constitution. So I think it would be improper for us to now belatedly say we want to change rules on the floor of the House.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The floor is yours.
Thank you very much.
Chief Justice, some of us, you can't see us who are
Chief
behind
Justice.
the voting booth.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. I would like to suggest that instead of having the counting taking place here at the plenary, let's rather agree as a sitting that we designate party whips to observe the counting wherever it will be taking place, rather than having it taking place at the plenary of the city. I'm of the view that that approach would not necessarily cause the amendments of the rules, but it addresses the concern arising from what has been referred to as a past experience, where the counting was observed at the plenary of the National Assembly. That's what we want to propose. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Chief Justice,
1 sec, I'll be with you just now. I'm
Julius
advised
Malema here,
that
Chief Justice.
I'll come to the one who wishes to have my attention. I'm advised that because it's a new parliament, there wouldn't be any whips. You would have to have representatives. So maybe your proposal would need to be amended to say, instead of whips, representatives of parties.
Yes, Chief Justice, I would
be-
support that.
Yes,
We have
okay.
each party represented. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Chief Justice Julius Malema.
Yes, Honorable Malema.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. I never thought I would sit in a meeting where we argue with the head of the judiciary about internationally acceptable methods of running a democratic elections. The observation, for you to observe the elections, is a democratic practice which is internationally acceptable. And we cannot have a debate about that. And no one, Chief Justice, stands to lose anything out of observation of elections unless someone seeks to do something that is undemocratic. But if it is in line with democratic principles, it is internationally acceptable that a free and fair elections will, amongst other things, include that there were observers who observed the proceedings of the elections. So I fully support what Honorable Ndlozi suggests, that if you want to go and then enjoy Cape Town while people are counting, let's get people to go and represent us. But in the past, and all members who are returning members here know it, in the past we used to count in the middle of the plenary. It's not something strange. And Floyd was an observer in one of those countings that happened here. And Honorable Musi was a candidate of such a contestation. Those people, both of them are here, who were there before. So we support that motion, and anything else that is not democratic that is being suggested by the DA is not supported, is strongly opposed, because it even comes from wrong people.
Chief Justice
Okay, honorable members.
Nabayomzi Kwankwa from the UDM.
Honorable members, I know that there are members who still want to say something. Among the rules that were introduced into the rules by way of amendment yesterday, there is Rule 8.3. Rule 8.